I think the moment was that by understanding how a startup was from the inside and how the decisions were being made and things like that, I said, I actually could do this. I felt I would have never thought beforehand that I could start from zero and build something. But having been in that 6 month process and realizing how decisions were made and understanding what the issues were and things, so I said, it doesn't seem like brain surgery. I think I could pull this off. So it was more about gaining some confidence in myself and realizing that I could pull it off. And since I had been online since 1994, it was already 6 years in the internet. I had done websites. I realized by interviewing a lot of people, the amount of ignorance there was on the internet back then. I mean, people really didn't understand much, and investors even less. So I would see entrepreneurs being funded by people that were coming in from MBAs, and just because of the title that they had, they would get money. They would receive money, but they really didn't understand how to generate traffic, how to design the websites, which was not trivial back then. Even the back end. I mean, before you had Amazon Web Services, you had to know how to have servers, how to scale them, and things of the sort. And back in the day, you had to have a database that would probably cost you like $1 million. If you wanted to have Oracle, you would have to spend an insane amount of capital for databases back then. Today, you use MySQL and you put it in Postgres or things of the sort, and you put it in AWS and it's done. It's completely trivial today, but it wasn't back then. And so I realized I could pull it off. And I also saw how they would pitch to investors, and I was in those meetings, and I would understand that investors most didn't have a clue. They were just like, okay, the internet, it's something important. It's going to scale. Okay, I want to be there. But I mean, it was like throwing money at people that had no clue. I knew them. I mean, everybody was trying to figure it out, right? And
yeah, I think, I mean, that quote is so important, because I think that it's that moment where you have self-confidence, that you understand that at the other side you have another person that's also trying to figure it out and hopefully doing their best. My first month in venture capital, so I worked very hard to get the job at Funders Club at FCVC, with no credentials, right? Like technically I beat the kids from Harvard and Stanford, and then when I was there for a month, I was just like, all right, I gotta win. I am gonna fucking destroy. I'm gonna crush it. And I would arrive before everyone else, would be the last person to leave. And every weekend I was there studying. And then it got to a point where you start doing deals and you source companies, and you realize it's like, oh, there are so many people in this market that, I mean, they just don't know what they're doing. Or from the outside, it looks like these investors are geniuses and they're like brilliant people, but at the end, there's just a lot of smoke. It's insane.
Yeah.
And then